How's it, everybody? Celtic here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are kicking off the long grand tour for the New Year's superhero units, including the EZAs for the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. I kind of briefly talked about this in a previous post about how these long grand tours are something very difficult for me to put together. So I decided the best thing to do is to kind of wait until at least we have a filled out team here with the EZAs to run it for all of these guys all together. So we'll be taking down various bosses within the game on this setup here. So I'm going to go ahead and start by taking down the Zamos here. Obviously, we're starting with the Rose and Zamos stage like we normally do for these grand tours. So hopefully this works out here. Okay, pray we get that dodge. We do get that dodge. Very nice. Then we have the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 on the other rotation too, so that's really nice. Gohan should eat this super here. Perfect. Now, we do have Int Gohan on the team because he's a nice little stopgap character for this setup. Even though he's not on superhero, he does help the team out quite a bit. With, you know, giving the team not only a revive, but support, since majority of our team is also on Bond Master Disciple. There we go. All right, so didn't do a whole lot of damage there on Zamos. He ended up healing up back most of it, but that's all right. We got Future Gohan and Gamma 2 here to kind of clean up. Hopefully, looks like Rose is probably more than likely going to super on Gamma 2 in the third slot, so hopefully we get that dodge. And hopefully next rotation is a little bit better on the... hopefully next rotation is a little bit better on the attacks. There we go. And the locking, right? Because I already see Gohan in slot 3 there, and I don't like that because there's a good chance he could get locked in slot 3, like Gamma 2 is locked here. Excellent. Okay, that works. That works. Okay, so we need to pray on that 85% dodge. We do get it. Excellent. And we dodge the rest of the attacks. Perfect. Very nice. And exactly what I didn't want to happen. Gohan is locked in slot 3, so we better pray that that super is not there in slot 3. There's quite a few of attacks in slot 2 there, so there's a good chance at least Zamos is supering. There we go. Yeah. All right. So it's very likely Zamos is supering AGL Gamma 2, considering all of his attacks are in slot 2, which I've never seen that happen before. So that's good, I guess. There we go. The nice thing is AGL Gamma 2 does have Key Blast nullification, so Zamos can't touch him. And if we're lucky, right... oh, Goku Black is super in there. Oh, great. So he just gets to nullify everybody's super. Or, oh wait, never mind. That was Gamma 1. Okay, never mind. But he did tank it, which is great. All right. Excellent. All right, we get the crit. We get a normal. Oh, we just need to get that build up going on him. We see some good damage. Beautiful. 49 million. You love to see it. Nice. And there goes that Key Blast Super, which we should nullify. Or we'll just dodge. Okay. I mean, I'll take that. I'm not complaining. All right, we get another super. All right, we get another one. Perfect. Okay, so the Moss isn't down quite yet, but we're going to get real close here, which is nice. Okay, and I think we received enough attacks that we will be able to figure out where Zamos's super, or Rose's super is on the next turn. Because remember, it's 4 attacks, and then they can see all, foresee super attacks. Alright, and Beast is locked in slot 1, as I expected. Okay, so let's do that. That way we get to utilize the... I guess we keep him on, yeah, and then we'll send off the Gohan. I'm curious to see what's going to happen to Beast here, if he's going to get tapped by Rose or not, and proc the revive. I mean, he is going to get hit by Rose's super. The question is, will it... I'm pretty sure he should live here, with all the support that's coming through. He should live here, unless he starts attacking Rose, right? Like, if we take down some awesome Beast and he starts attacking Rose, then obviously that's going to be more likely that we're going to die to the super here. But he doesn't. Okay. Alright, so we don't revive this turn? Dang. That's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, but he lives, though. That's nice. 2-year-old unit. Alright, hanging in there. There we go. And then, so now we're going to start building up... Oh, wait, no, he's still not dead. Okay. Now he's dead. There we go. Alright, now we're going to start building up Rose, which shouldn't be a problem, at least for the rest of this rotation, since apparently all of his... What is going on with this one? All of Zamos's attacks on the last turn were in slot 2, and now all of Rose's attacks were in slot 1. That's crazy. I've never seen that happen before. Alrighty. Perfect. Alright, we get an... there we go. Alright, so the super is in the 3rd slot, so we can actually do this number. We're going to use Piccolo's active, right? So that way everybody here can get some support. Right? Yeah, because that's what we want. We want to support everybody. There we go. I'm going to swap into him. Alright, and let's do that. There we go. And then with AGL Gamma... Ooh, okay, so it looks pretty good. With AGL Gamma... Gamma 2... I say Gamma 3. AGL Gamma in the slot 3 there, all we need is his dodge to proc. There we go, and it's good game. This should be a really fun turn. 70 million, look at that. That's beautiful. We love that. It's a shame we couldn't use the other one's support active on the other turn, because we couldn't exchange just yet, but this is going to be a really nice rotation. And if he lives, I'll be surprised, because to be completely honest, if he lives, I'll be completely surprised. There we go. Look at that. 80 million. I kind of want to see what Gamma 2 in the 3rd slot is going to do after all of this. I kind of want to see what he's going to do. I really want to see what he's going to do. I'm assuming he's going to get to attack. Okay, he might not. He actually might not. It'll be funny if he does, though. Normal. Okay. 66 million. Okay, yeah, all right. He might actually get to attack. There we go. We get the dodge, and here it comes. 60 million. Huh. I expected more. Oh, but, okay, to be fair, he's doing 5 of these, so, to be fair. There we go. Oh, yeah, we get the KO screen. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so there we go. Rose and Zamos is down. 1 for the money. We got it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. We're going to head on over to the Super Saiyan 4 Goji stage. Quite easy. Honestly, went pretty well. And kind of, I think for the next, no, it's probably still better to run double Gohan. Yeah, okay, so we'll run a double Gohan for the next one. So let's have a little fun with it. So we're gonna pause the video and head on over. All right, so we are loaded up here. We are taking down Gogeta 4, so I'm liking these teams. At least for the special battle stages, we're going to use roughly the same team, as I do think it works quite well here. Now, my only concern is the placement of the attacks. We know that super attack is going to be in slot 3. But the question is, who is better for us to let build it? I think Gohan, since it is turn 1, I would rather keep the Gammas together. So I think this is the play here. Because what this will allow them to do, this will allow STR Gamma 1 to get built up, right? This will allow STR Gamma 1 to get built up, and of course we'll nullify that super in the middle, or at least we have a 70% chance to do so, or dodge, and then hopefully I think since it's turn 1 Gogeta, Gohan should be able to handle slot 3. There we go. All right, and then so now we just got to let these guys get built up here. I mean, another option we could have done was, but then, I mean, we wouldn't have as much protection for next turn, which I feel like, yeah, we'll see. There we go, 40 million here. Excellent. All right, we get those dodges in, and then there goes the super. So we're either going to dodge it here, or we're going to nullify it. Or we're just going to eat it for double digits. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Hopefully that doesn't happen again next turn. Okay, so we're not dealing damage here. I don't like that. I don't like that one single bit. Let's see here. And the next turn, though, for sure, we'll float Gogeta and Frieza off, because they should be able to handle the super attack, at least for that turn. There we go. All right, moment of truth. I'm pretty sure he handles turn 1. If this was turn 3, maybe it'd be a different story, but turn 1, I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, perfect. Alrighty. Okay, so now let's do that number. Do that number, and then, like I said, we'll float Gogeta and Frieza off. Perfect. Alright, now we can actually deal some damage here. And then basically what that does is this sets up our turn 4 with the superhero Gamma rotation, which is exactly what we want. Beautiful. I mean, if we could honestly, we'll see. We'll see. There we go. We get an additional. Nope. Alright, yeah, please don't be failing this dodge here on the super attack. You have an 85% chance to dodge. You kidding me? 85% chance, and we just said we're not going to do it. Alright, let's try that one again. That was bogus. Alright, so let's, of course it didn't save our team, so now we gotta go back and we gotta select our team here. And we'll swap him for Tech. There we go. All right, let's do it. All right. Hopefully it decides not to be... Really? This is the rotation you're going to give us? Okay. Well, we got a rocket. We got a rocket. So, and both of our, of course, both of our Gohans are over on the other rotation there. Okay. Let's do this number. Let's grab that. Let's take that. And let's send off him. So, since we have the other Gamma coming in slot 7 there, this will probably be the best option. We'll see. Alright, I mean, we'll get an extra super attack out of the STR Gamma 2 in the 3rd slot. Since we're floating him, he gets an extra super attack. Yeah, I think this will work. And hopefully, well, I mean, we know that Gamma 2 here will tank, even if he doesn't nullify, but hopefully we actually proc the thing that matters, which is the nullification. That'll help a lot. Here we go. All right, there we go, up to 45 million. So we're getting that nice little build up here. And of course, on the next rotation, we'll start getting that 2-turn support kicking off for these guys. So it'll be a lot better. There we go. We get 55 million. Excellent. There we go. All right, and we do tank the normals. All right, moment of truth. What's happening? Are we dodging? Are we nullifying? We are nullifying. There we go. All right, and then these guys gonna go ahead and kick off their build up here. It does take a couple of hits, but remember we do get that guaranteed additional super for being in the 3rd slot, so that should actually help the build up a lot. That's not what we want. Where's that additional super? There it is. 32 million we're up to. That is very helpful. Excellent. And then there goes the next super. So hopefully we don't fail 85% chance to dodge again. There it is. Perfect. Alrighty. So I think we're going to do this number. I think we'll keep the 2. Yeah, let's do this. All right. Let's do this number. All right. Yeah, I think let's work. I would rather have Gohan tank the 1st super before it gets built up on the 2nd super, since he has to be out of slot 1. Perfect. All right, we get another super. All right, so we're getting good defense raises on Gohan here, which will help next turn when super shift to slot 1. And we're gonna we'll probably put, since it is Ki Blast Supers, we'll probably put the Gamma 1. We'll switch into Gamma 1, put him in slot 1. Probably what we'll end up doing. Excellent. Okay, so we're not doing a whole lot of damage here, but we are stacking defense. So hopefully, combined with the entrance passive, this is enough to. I mean, we just need to live the super, both him and Gogeta. I know Gogeta's fine here, so I'm not worried about them. It's just... Okay, we're good. All right, I was a little worried there. Excellent. Get another one? Yeah, there we go. Oh my, he's taking way more than I thought he was going to take there. Okay, I just need him to not die to the super. Perfect. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. Just not die to the super. That was all we needed. Okay, so let's grab that. Okay, we'll grab that, and we'll let Gohan die in the 3rd slot. Perfect. All right, this will allow STR Gamma 1 to get built up, and it'll allow AGL Gamma 2 to continue to build and hopefully nullify the super. Well, actually, honestly, it doesn't even matter if he does or not at this point, because we're going to revive anyways. But, I mean, if he does nullify it, that means we at least get damage off of Gohan, which is obviously ideal. But let's hope it's not that bad. Excellent. There we go. All that juicy build-up. Perfect. Alright, and then now continuing that build with our Gamma 2. One more. There we go. And then next turn, we'll still have the Scouter effect up because, of course, we have, Gamma 1 just got his hits in. There we go. Perfect. All right, I like the damage that's coming out of these two. I really do. It's good damage for TURs, which is something TURs have been struggling with for a while. Like especially the EZA TURs, right? They're just damage total wasn't keeping up with the LRs, and I do like that. That's kind of what they kind of fixed that. Oh my goodness, we were just not dodging today. All right, there we go. We dodged the super. I'll take that. All right, and then Gohan's, of course, going to die to the super here, which is great. All right. Excellent. And he drops, which means now we get the revive.
Trunks, you're humanity's last hope. Gohan!
Alrighty, so with that in mind, now we can set up the ultimate rotation here. So we're going to use Gohan's active here, so he gets the buff, right? Alright, and then we're going to swap him in. Right, and then now we're going to swap into Piccolo. I'm going to use his active. Alright, so not only do we deal some damage, now we're supporting allies. Alright, and then we're going to swap into Gamma 1 and use his active. So not only can we deal damage, we're going to support our allies for 2 turns. Alright. And there we go. We set up my favorite rotation in the game. I honestly like this rotation more than the Gamma rotation. And since that is a Ki Blast super that we're getting there from Gogeta, we are going to have almost 95% damage reduction here. And we're going to, not only are we going to eat it, and then we're going to support our allies. Beautiful. 200 million. Look at that. That's the turn we wanted to set up. Yeah, baby. Beautiful. All right, and we only get 2 supers out of it, but that's it. 2 supers is all you need. Oh, that is amazing. And of course, Gamma 1, you know, maybe I don't know. I prefer the juice on AGL Gamma 1 cuz we could have used Gamma's active and buffed him and then he'd be doing some pretty good damage, but honestly, I mean, still what was that? Oh, so he just did 90 million. He's going to hit 100 million. Well, never mind. He killed. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so Gogeta down. Easy day here. Little trip up there in the beginning, but not so bad. We ended up making it work. Okay, so with that, for this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to head on over to the Ultimate Giant Form Clash stage for round 3 of this Grand Tour. All right, so we are loaded up here. So for this one, we decided to switch up the team. We are actually running superheroes under the Gamma 2 lead because I actually figure this would probably be better overall for the team, just to kind of get what we want out of them. So you can see here we got AGL UI, we got Gamma, and the blues here. And that just kind of helps, just because it helps us manage this fight a little bit more, having that free slot 1 there. Of course, both of them got on this rotation, which doesn't help us at all. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, with this setup, is we're going to target Basha here. And then, yeah. Okay, if we play this right, okay, we want to try to avoid getting the type orbs here. Okay, if we play this right, I think... Yeah, no. Okay, we'll just target Fasha, and if we end up attacking Bardock, we end up attacking Bardock. I just don't want to. I don't want to chance not killing Fasha and then have to deal with, the bombs again on next turn. Best to just to take her down, and then we'll use the next rotation to focus Tora. All right, and then I've talked about this before and a lot. I like this because the strategy you have to play out. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, all right. Come on. All right, thank you. Making me nervous there, Blue Goku. Okay, so, I mean, if AGL... yeah. I mean, maybe he can solo. Maybe he can solo. Not without those crits. Yeah, this is definitely... See, so, I mentioned this in their showcase that I'm definitely not regretting leaving the crit on them. Because as you can see there, even with that extra crit, we're still missing it. Okay, actually, yeah. Okay, so we could have targeted Tora with the STR Gamma 2. Kind of wish we did now. Kind of wish we did. Because Tora seals, and that's why he needs to be our second priority to take down. But, hey, you know what? Actually, having Gamma 2 attack Bardock isn't terrible, because he attack lowers. That's very helpful. Alright, nice. We get the dodge. Alright, and then we get that 85. Remember, we're going to have that 85% chance to dodge with the Gamma 2 here, so that's not terrible. Okay, this actually went pretty well. Yeah, so, I mean, one of the things that I had noticed when running this stage pre-Gammas is that there's a lot that can go wrong for Gohan's team. Beautiful. Okay, geez, we've almost taken down Bardock. We ain't even mean to, either. Bro, 85 dodge. Woo! Coming in clutch there. Okay, and I think that's all the supers, right? Alright, now, who's... Of course it's him. Alright, so I think I'm gonna keep him here. Alright, and then, like I said, so now is the turn to focus. Since we have the other Gamma 2 coming in, we're just going to do this. I don't like that Gamma 1 is going to be by himself, though, but we got to work it. Okay, so let's focus on Tora here. I'm a little bit worried if he gets snagged by a super. Obviously, we know Gohan's going to be fine here. Holy crap, I lied. He's not fine. All right, we went ahead and reloaded that. So yes, as you can see, getting your dodge characters on neither starting turn is good. And we can see that that did happen again. But at least this turn, Gohan, of course, he's the sealed one. Of course, he's the sealed one. Okay. So, and we also have AGL Gamma 2 coming in. Like, how are both of our dodge characters on the other rotation? Okay. Well, like I said, we'll definitely won't be getting good hits in here. So I think we may as well just leave it. Yeah, maybe leave him on here. And I guess float him. Yeah, okay. I think this might be what to do here. And yeah, Bardock is kind of nutty. I mean, he almost might be. I mean, if he, he almost might be secondary to taking out Tora. If only because, right, you can still manage the seals. But definitely taking down Fasha first is important because that's going to really screw with your HP. Alright, so we'll see who gets sealed on the next rotation, and then maybe we'll decide whether or not to take out Bardock. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. We can go with our original plan for the next one. Okay, there we go. That's always a plus. Okay, we are going to eat a type advantage super. That's good. Alright, so all we need is Gamma 2 in the third slot to make his dodge, and then we're solid. Okay. Excellent. Okay. And there goes the super, and we do dodge it. Perfect. Okay, who got sealed? It's the Gamma. Of course, it's always him. It's always him. Okay, okay, we may as well just keep the rotation going this way then. We didn't kill Fasha because our AGL unit is the one who decided he wanted to do that. And I think we're just going to have to do this number. Yep, and we have no HP, so nobody can miss a dodge this turn. Alright, and then so the next turn we'll have to use the Senzu Bean on the Gohan to get the heal, I think. It's not ideal, but I think it's just what we gotta do. Alright, Fasha's down. Did not think we were going to take down Bardock there. Or Fasha with UI. Alright, but it does look like all this... I mean, it's fine that all the supers are there on him, but now I guess we just gotta make sure we dodge these normals then. Ooh, this is scary. Both these guys have an 85% chance to dodge, but it doesn't matter because we have 1 HP. There we go. Just don't fail any dodges. Okay, well, at least we got the revive. I didn't want to proc it this turn. I wanted to save it for next turn when it was going to be a little more dangerous, but also so we could get the revive for so we can get the attacks in, so Gamma 2 gets his dodge up. Friggin' Blue Goku. Every single time. And he's locked in slot 3, of course. Okay. think what we're gonna have to do. Oh wow, super attacks everywhere here. Who is the one super in there? It's Bardock. Of course, it's Bardock. And who's sealed here? It's him. Okay, we might actually. Okay, we might have to do this number. Not ideal. Okay. Because at least this way, this puts Gamma in front of a type advantage super, right? And then, yeah, we might have to take out Bardock here. Right? I don't like that, but it is what it is. All right. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously not the strategy I'd planned to use, but I don't really think we have much of a choice here. I think we gotta just roll with it. There we go. Okay, so Gohan is able to take out Bardock with his active skill, so at least we have one less threatening, because Bardock is the most threatening of all of the apes. He has a not only is he buffing everybody else, he is significantly he's significantly stronger than the rest of them as well. There we go. Get those Ki Blast supers. There we go. Perfect. Excellent. All right. Oh, hold on a second. How did I never notice that before? Gohan's passive. Wow. Okay, I had never noticed that before. So Gohan, if you use his active, it removes statuses for everyone, not just himself. I thought it only removed for himself. Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good play around for later. That's good play around for later. Okay, but Tora, you do need to die, like, right now. Alright, there we go. And then now we start taking down, who's it, Shugesh? Yeah, Shugesh is the end one. Perfect. Okay, this works out. This works out. Perfect. Alrighty. There we go. And then now we don't have anything to worry about. Okay, so, let's target Shugesh, I guess. Yeah. Do UIs active. Alright, let's do that. There we go. Alright, Vegito takes him down. Alright, and because we haven't used Piccolo at all here, I kind of want to use him. So, let's actually use... Let's use the Gamma's active here. I mean, it's not an ideal rotation for him, but hang on, let me see something here. So, switch into Piccolo here. His attack buff, is it in the second slot? It's in the second slot, right? Second attacker. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's do that number then. Perfect. And then swap into Piccolo. It's, again, not ideal for Piccolo, the link-wise, but we just want to use him. We haven't switched into him in a while, so might as well. Watch Blue Goku just murder Borgos here. Oh, no. Okay, actually, he didn't do that much. Alright. Okay, not a whole lot, especially because I think this is the one we floated, right? So, yeah. Okay. Perfect. 37 mil, and then UI in the third slot. I don't... Are we going to kill here? Oh, we might. Look at that. That'll be so funny if UI kills. Excellent. Okay, that worked out really nicely. Okay, so onward and upwards. Next, so that's round 3 done? Yes? Okay, so onward to the red zone Broly. Let's do it. That one wasn't too bad. Like I said, we had one fail, but we ended up, just retrying again, and of course, playing a little bit smarter, focusing on Bardock for that second round, so not bad. Like I said, pre-Gamma ECA, this one was a little rough, but it's definitely a lot better now, and I do think maybe... So when I did run it before, I did run it with double Gohan, and I think running double Gamma 2 might be the better call there. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's pause. Let's head over to the Red Zone Broly. All right, so we're loaded up in the Red Zone Broly here. We got a similar team to what we've run before in this event. I do like this setup for the Broly for this team, but we've only added in, instead of the Gohans that we added, we've added in the Gammas. So I think probably best to do this number so we can get him built up sooner rather than later. Now, this is obviously not going to be an ideal rotation an ideal fight for the two Gammas, since... Oh, nice, we do counter that. It's not going to be an ideal fight for the two Gammas since they are... oh, actually, you know what? We should have left Gogeta on. Or the gods. We should have left them on, but whatever. We do have a lot. This is going to be a bit of a longer event, so we may have to try to blitz a little bit, just to ensure that we don't end up beyond turn 7 with the Gammas, because that's where things could kind of get into trouble here. There we go. I do still think we have to focus on our high damage turn, right? With the Gammas, that might be probably the best way to go about this. Broly, I think, is is it unarmed super? I'm not sure. I gotta double check his in the final phase. I don't think it's unarmed. I think it's just other. But let's actually pull that up. I think it's just other. For the final phase. But the first 2 phases, it is unarmed. Oh, yeah, it's other. Okay. Alright, nice. So we get some good stacking on the gods. I guess we'll just leave them on the next rotation. Yeah, because Gamma... Oh, wow. I've never seen that happen before. Okay, let's... Okay, keep him on here, I guess. Well, the gods are coming on, right? Yeah. Okay. So maybe, yeah, let's do that. Let them get built up there. Hopefully AGL Gamma doesn't do too much work. There we go. Alright, we get an additional super for Gohan. Yeah, so I guess we'll just set up our next rotation as our Gamma rotation. I do think it's probably smart to keep a Gohan on each rotation for this fight, though, right? Because he's going to be the best to tank Broly in the final phases. I think it's going to be a little tricky for Gamma 2 here, unless we get him on turn 1, on the active turn that we're going to use for the Gohan and the Gammas. But we'll see. Because I do think he's going to need all the support he can get, even with the damage reduction for that Broly. There we go. And then now STR Gamma is going to get his build up. Don't know if he's going to kill here. It might be good if he doesn't, because then the other Gohan can stack up a little bit more too. There we go. 29 million. Okay, so if this crits, he's probably going down. Yep. Okay. I mean, that's fine. All right, but now we got to contend with locking, which could screw up our rotations. And of course it did. Of course it did. Of course it did. Of course it did. And then the super is right there in slot 1, so I'm kind of curious. I want to see if he tanks this. I am actually kind of curious. Let's grab that. And then we'll grab that with Gohan. Perfect. Well, not perfect. This is obviously not ideal, which means, because this means we're going to have to rotate the gods back in order to set up our superhero rotation. Okay, he does tank it. Nice. Good job, Gamma. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, because he loses his guard beyond turn 5, which means that he's in a very dangerous position in the final phase here. There we go. But also having them, right, if we can get Golden Frieza to attack before they end up on rotation 2, that would really help them, because if we use his, if we end up using Gogeta's active, that'll give them extra defense. But this locking really messed us up here. It screwed up the whole rotation set. Alright, we get another super with Gohan. Appreciate all the defense raises for sure. Question is now, who's getting locked? It's Gohan. Okay, so obviously we don't want to put Gamma 1 in slot 1, and okay, so we might just have to roll with these guys, and just set this up here. They should be able to tank, well, maybe not tank the super, but they should be able to live the super, which is kind of all that matters. Yeah, perfect. Well, I mean, I guess that is tanking. But now, hopefully, I don't think they're going to kill here, which means Gohan will get a couple extra stacks, which is nice. Excellent. Alright, we get some extra stacks here. Man, getting that Gohan locked really sucked. That really messed us up. Like, if they had just locked Gamma 2, that would have been perfect. Or Gamma 1, rather. Dude did not take a hit either. I just realized that. He did not take a hit last turn. Okay, so we're probably going to kill with the Gamma 1. Puts me in a position I don't like for the next phase. Because we basically have two choices, right? We can put Gogeta in front, right? Because we should be able to swap into Gogeta, and he'll get some good orbs. Or we swap into... yeah, this is tough, because who's coming on? Gohan's coming on. Or no, Gamma 2 is coming on. We swap into Gogeta here, right? What if we do that? We do that, because I don't think... Well, we do still have his guard. Maybe he could. I don't know that it's worth it, though. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, yeah, let's do this. I think this might be the right call. All right, we do still tank the AoE. All right, 45 million on the Gogeta here. And so I think we'll rotate the gods back to this rotation, right? Because then we got the Gamma 2 coming on. Okay, I think this will work. I think this will work. Excellent. We got another super coming out of Gogeta. So hopefully, I just need this rotation to kind of like not kill. That's kind of all we need here. Perfect. And we get another super here for 48 mil. So remember, we do lose a little bit after turn 5, so we are going to be a little bit weaker here on this next turn. Alright, nice. And we are still tanking with the Gamma 2, which is nice. Alright, and remember, he did give all that support through the orbs that he picked up. There we go. Alright, so there we go. Excellent, we get an additional super. Oh wow, we actually did kill. I didn't anticipate that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so like I said, original plan, rotate the gods. Yeah, this will do. This does put us in a unique position for the next turn. We'll see how it goes. There we go. Tanking the AoEs. Perfect. And then Gohan's going to do his thing in slot 1 by tanking the super and then stacking up for us. You... not what we wanted. Okay. Alright, so let's... Hang on, I want to see something with Gogeta here. Is it on his... Okay, defense 540%, change all key spheres attack. Hang on. What's that? For every 5 key spheres. Alright, for every key sphere obtained when attacking. So that defense won't proc until he does it. But obviously he can't go slot 1. So we kind of just... Let's see if he can... What is the defense here? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's use Gogeta's active then. Alright, and let's see if he can tank. I mean... Maybe he can. We do have quite a bit of defense, and it is only Broly's turn 1. We do have the damage reduction. We just don't have the guard anymore. But is that enough? It's enough to tank 1, but not 2. That sucks. And so that means we're going to have to do this again. We should have left Piccolo on. And that locking really screwed us up there. Okay, so let's reset here. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and rock the same team here. Hopefully we don't get too messed up this time with the locking and whatnot. It shouldn't be too bad. Although we do have Gamma 2 still in slot 7, which could potentially be bad depending on how fast we go through the how fast we go through the phases here, but we do have a pretty decent turn 1. Right, because with Gamma 2 in slot 7, we could potentially he could potentially get locked in slot 1 when he comes on, which is not ideal. Excellent. Yeah, so ideally we want a Gohan, with this setup, we want a Gohan on each rotation at the very least. Or at least prepared to switch Piccolo in for that turn that we need him. But, I mean, I guess that is kind of cool that he can tank without his guard. He can live Broly's turn 1 super. Obviously, he's not living beyond that. I wonder if AGL Gamma 2, because he also has 40% damage reduction. I wonder if he could have tanked that. I bet. I think we still would have died, but I think he would have taken significantly less damage than what STR Gamma 2 took. Gamma 1. There we go. Alright, we get all these nice little attacks on the gods. And then next turn we will let Gohan stack up. Oh wow, they're just going still. Oh, we gotta finish this quick. Alrighty, so do that. Do that, and then we'll send him off. Perfect. Alrighty. Yeah, so I think just because of the nature of the way Broly works, it is probably in our best interest to keep a Gohan on each rotation for that slot 1. I do think the Gammas will be fine in slot 2. I'm not worried about Gohan and Piccolo so much, or the tag superhero units as much as I am worried about the EZAs. Just because, again, they aren't really designed for long fights. And, of course, he's the one that gets locked. Always. Every time. Okay. He couldn't have locked Gohan, maybe. Alright, well, whatever. We'll make it work. So, it's not like it's bad. So, Gohan will tank this, and then AGL Gamma 2 will attack. Question is, do we leave the gods on? I guess we rotate the Gamma 1, I guess is what we do. Here we go. Alright, so we actually have our attacks in, so he's got his attack buff. Excellent. Alright, and then now Gamma 2 is going to start doing Gamma 2 things. Which might bring us through this, actually, depending on how much he crits and what Gamma 2 in the third slot is going to be doing, we might actually be moving into the third phase here. I guess is not bad. It puts the EZA Gammas in a better position. There we go, and then now we get the additional super. Perfect. Okay, so what is it? Is it turn 4? It's turn 4, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I think we keep. do not like what's happening with the gods here, but I think we just have to roll with it. Obviously, Gohan in slot 1 is ideal. There we go. Okay, they're still tanking, but obviously I want more key spheres out of them. Or, I mean, I guess it's not really a big deal either way. Beautiful. All right, and then now we get that nice little key last super help. We'll rotate the... Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. And then we'll rotate Gogeta over to here. This is perfect. This works. Excellent. All right. All right, we get the additional super with the gods. All right, and now let's see. We kind of need the next rotation to not kill for this to work appropriately. We kind of need the next rotation to not kill. Alright, it's going to depend on how much... Yeah, no, with Gohan and the 3 Gammas, though, they might actually kill, though. Or 2... Oh, actually, maybe. I don't know, let's see. Let's see here. We leave Gohan. We have Gamma 1 coming on the next rotation. Okay, what if we do this, then? What if we do this? If this rotation cannot kill, we're in a good space. If this rotation cannot kill, we're in a good space. I think it's going to depend on what Gamma... no, we might kill here. I think Gamma 2 is going to kill. This is going to mess things up. Okay. That means we're going to have to go for the turn that I didn't... Well, then, in that case, we should have just used the active here, then. Well, actually, no, it might save us. It might save us having it in our pocket here. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Gamma 2 is going to kill. We get an additional super. Yeah, okay, yeah. Gamma 2 is definitely killing. $29 million. Okay, so not ideal showcase for the Gammas in this fight, just because the way the locking messed up our rotations. Yeah, okay, he's dead. Okay, so we're just gonna have to blitz. Or we don't blitz, and no, I don't want to try to manage a turn 3 Broly, though. That's not ideal. Okay, in that case... Alright, in that case, then, we do this number. So, yeah, we go with original plan A. Alright, we swap into him. Alright, and then we swap into you. Alright, we give superheroes the buff. How's his defense, actually? Oh, that's not good for Broly. Actually, we might want to stay into Piccolo, then. Yeah, okay. So, let's do that. Yeah, we might actually want to stay in Piccolo. There we go. 9. Is that the best we're gonna do? 9? Okay, we'll take it. Alrighty, so... There we go, 89 million. Yeah, see, I wanted to set up the Gamma turn. I feel like, honestly, I feel like the Gamma turn... Like, Gohan is impressive with his individual numbers, but I feel like the Gamma turn is way better. I don't know, maybe that's just me. There we go, 100 mil. And I think it's just because of the links. Maybe the Gohan turn will be better when we have a better Gohan partner for him, but for right now... There we go, and then obviously we're going to eat this... There we go. Yeah, this is not ideal, the setup here. I know Gamma 1 could do it, but it's the tanking of the normals on Gamma 2 that worries me. It's still not bad, though. And then the gods obviously going to do gods things in slot 3, which will... There we go. Yeah, this is not ideal for what we want, but... Now we gotta kind of just make it work. Okay, we've done we did a good chunk of damage out of this turn though, for sure. But I guess now the question is, do we do the support active on the next turn? Maybe we do. I feel like STR Gamma 1's gonna need it. There we go. And they should be able to tank the normals here. So we could do the support active, right? Where's that? Because that's super... He's got...
I'll do this.
That's tough. We take... Because I know Gohan's going to live this. I think he can. Alright, let's... Alright, let's do Gohan's active. And let's do this number, because I think he can live this. Because he's going to get... It's not a Ki Blast, but he is going to get that extra damage reduction for taking the super here. So... Let's see here. He tanks the normals. All right, so that's a good sign. Then we will get the extra damage reduction. It's not the same amount that we would get if it was a Ki Blast, but it's still a good amount. It is perfect. Wait, is there going to be a second one there? There we go, 160 million. Perfect. And then we get the additional super, 180 million. All right. You want to throw us one more? There we go. Okay, so that worked out. That worked out. Perfect. Oh, no crits, though. Alrighty, so Broly is down, and all that leaves is the final fight. Oh, no, we got two more, don't we? We got to take down the Tamagami and the... We gotta take down the Tamagami and the hybrids. So let's actually do... Let's do the hybrids fight first, and we'll end with the Tamagami. I think the hybrids is... That's a little bit better, right? Because Tamagami's kind of cheesy, right? So let's do the hybrids fight first. So we'll run... Actually, hang on. Alright, so we are loaded into the hybrids fight here. Not an ideal starting turn. We would have wanted to have the we would have wanted to have the we definitely would have wanted to have the the Gohans on separate rotations, but we can make this work. So, yeah, we just gotta get our rotations set up here. The trick is going to be taking down the Brats on turn. The trick is going to be taking down the Brats on turn 3 or 4, ideally 4, but we'll see how this plays out. There we go. Yeah, I think this is going to be real tricky. There we go. Yeah, because we're not going to have Gogeta until turn 4. Maybe we should have floated him, but then again, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I think we might be okay, honestly. Because Gamma 1's going to have the counter on the next rotation for the Brats, so we don't have to worry about that. So we could probably safely put him in slot 1, and he should be able to tank Gohan on turn 2. Turn 3 might be a little tricky, but we'll have Gohan that turn. Well, actually, we'll have our Gamma rotation that turn, so actually we'll be okay. But again, that just means we have to survive turn 3, which I think we can. There we go. Right, and the super is on Gohan, which he does tank this turn. Perfect. Okay, so this is not ideal, but it will work. Let's do that. Okay, that did not draw. I guess we'll just take that then. Not ideal. Okay, and there goes the super. Wish there were a couple of more normals there before we had to eat that. It's not terrible, and we do get the counter on the Brats. Perfect. Okay, so now we just need to kill them. I don't know if we can do enough. Well, 50 million. I mean, as long as... There we go. Crits, man. Where are those crits? We need those crits for these guys. Because turn 3 and beyond, this is going to start getting real dangerous. Alright. There we go. Alright, and we do dodge. Perfect. Where's that? No. Okay, so my only concern is dodging the Brat super, because we know... Oh, actually, no. They just have a... They're only doing one super this turn. Okay. We might be okay here. We might be okay. If we can survive the next turn, we might be okay here. Perfect. There we go. And then we get the gods doing gods things. Man, them still having half HP is not good. Yeah, having Gohan on this secondary rotation would have been really good. Yeah, so the team still kind of struggles to deal with the Brats a little bit. And so I think what we're going to have to do, I don't like this idea, but I do think we have to... Because the Brats are going to super next turn. And they're going to be really strong. We might have to use our Gohan's active for the extra damage to just get them out of the way. Yeah, that might be the play here. Yeah. Okay. And then oh, he can swap on turn 3. We just can't use his active. Duh. I totally thought I needed to turn. We can use his active. I don't think we need it just yet. Okay. I think this will be enough to take down the brats. Alright, now Gohan should tank this, and we'll deal some extra damage here. And I think between him and Gogeta with 14 Key Spheres, we should be able to take them down. Oh yeah, on a 90 mil plus whatever Gogeta's doing. Oh, okay, we're definitely gonna have to. We're definitely gonna have to speed this up. Okay. There we go. Obviously, I would have loved to keep the Gamma 1 on, but... Or the Gamma 2, rather. Oh, actually, he took them down. Okay. This is good. Now we should have used Gogeta's active then. Alright, well, I mean, we'll have it next turn with the gods on, so actually, it's not the worst thing ever. Alright, we get additional super. Okay, this is fine. Alrighty. Alright, we get an additional super. Alright, this is starting to look a little scary here, but I think we got this. Alright, 35 mil on the Gamma 2, and then next turn will be our Gamma turn. So actually, we might be okay here. Alright, so we swap into Gohan. Alright, and then we swap into the Gammas. We use the support active to deal as much damage as we can with our AGL type, right? Even though, right, we could potentially deal more damage with our STR Gamma. It's better to get the support active because we need him to do as much as he can. Perfect. Okay, yeah, this will work because again, just like with the Broly, and we have type advantage this time, we should be able to tank turn 4 Gohan. And then dish out some crazy damage. Okay, well, maybe not tanking, but we'll take it. 200 million. Beautiful. We love that. Look at that. But remember, this dude is crazy beefy, right? I think he has 800 mil HP. Right? How much does he have, actually? Right, but I'll take a triple super. I will take a triple super out of him all day with that much damage. There we go. Beautiful, right? So that support really did help. Does put us in an awkward position, though, next turn. I mean, assuming there is a next turn. Alrighty. 70 million. Oh, no, he has 1.4 billion. Wow, way more HP than I thought. I always forget how much he has. Wow, he is tanky. But we do take him down on this awesome turn. And we get an 83 million out of STR Gamma 1. Okay. I love it. Okay, so significantly easier than the last time I ran this. The Gammas do help a lot here. Excellent. Okay, so there we go. There is round, what is this? Round 5. Round 5 of this ground tour. So now we need the final round against the Tamagamis. Very, very happy with how this went. So we'll see how the Tamagami round goes. This is probably going to be the one that gives us the most trouble. So we're going to go ahead and pause and check it out. Alrighty, so we are loaded in here to the Tamagamis. We may or may not win this one, right? This one is kind of random, luck of the draw, with especially with however our rotations may or may not end up. So we'll see how this goes. It's not going to be ideal. There's a lot that can go wrong here, so we'll see what happens here. So we're gonna put our one that is sealed here in slot. We'll put him in slot 1, let him eat the stun, and then go from there. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the trick with this fight, is you gotta kind of just play it. If we end up losing all 6 attempts, we end up losing all 6 attempts, and it is what it is. There we go. All right, 20 mil on the Gohan. Not a lot, but I mean, it works. I do like that we have the Gamma 2 and Piccolo, so that activates his unit super, which is really helpful. I wish he lowered attack. That would be really nice. But his active will be very helpful, I think, for mitigating some damage we could possibly take. Excellent. Okay. Now, I think what's going to be real tricky here is the placement of the AoEs and who gets sealed on the next one. Our best case scenario is Gohan gets sealed on the next rotation. That is our best case scenario, because that will allow Gamma 1 to get built up. Or, I'm sorry, both of the Gamma 2s to get built up. And of course, Gamma 2 gets sealed. Of course he did. Okay, so there's a bunch of attack then. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this, which means we have to burn our protection here. Yeah. Alright, but at least he doesn't have to eat an AoE, I guess, is nice. Okay, so we eat the stun. Yeah, so the thing about the Gamma 2s, right, they're not going to be able to dodge here. I do think putting AGL... okay, yeah. Okay, well, actually, if he took that much, we could have left the AGL Gamma 1 on, actually. Okay. Because he's going to attack lower... Well, okay, not if we're going to miss attack. Like, we really cannot be missing attacks with him, because his attack lowering is going to be tremendously helpful to manage this fight. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. All right, we get another super here. There we go. And then we should have left him on. Yeah, we should have. How much is he going to take from this AoE? Oh, yeah. After all that attack, yeah, we should have left him on. We should have left him on. Okay. So who got sealed? Gohan got sealed again. All right, so we're going to have to do this number then. This is not ideal, but since he's sealed, it's not like we have much of a choice. He should still be able, with the attack lowering that came from Gamma 1, he should still be able to tank that super. It's kind of all we need him to do. Yep, perfect. My only beef is with the future Gohan. Okay, I mean, we're doing some decent damage here, so if we can get really lucky with the next rotation, we might be able to get some damage off. I don't know. This is tough. I'd like to get some damage off before we drop, which I think we can do. if we put the Gohan in slot 3, it's going to depend on who gets sealed. If Gohan gets sealed, I guess it's ideal if Gohan gets sealed, because him getting sealed means that he's going to have a better shot of tanking. There we go. All right, these extra AoE is going to help build up Gamma 2 as well. Wait, actually, he only needs 2 hits, doesn't he? Yeah, perfect. Not ideal. So, yeah, no extra damage like I was hoping. Oh, well, okay. Suppose we could go into Piccolo. I don't know, because I don't know if he can tank the, you know, with 800k. He doesn't have any damage reduction, right? 20% damage reduction. Is that enough? I don't think that's enough. I don't think we've done enough. But maybe Piccolo can tank here. Okay, let's do, because I think the next turn is going to be our kill turn. So let's actually, yeah, all right, let's use Piccolo's active. All right, I mean, it's not going to help anything, but it'll just give us some extra damage. And let's do that number. Worst case scenario is we die here. Oh, no. Okay, maybe not. We might actually be good. All right, Gohan. Oh, okay. We might actually have this. We might actually have this. All right, because Piccolo's going to be able to do some damage here. And Gohan's sealed. Oh, yeah, this was definitely the play. Because we would have just revived in and not had any damage if we'd done it the other way. Whereas Gohan can just eat that after supporting the next rotation, and then the next rotation can do the next rotation things. Okay, this is perfect. Oh, Piccolo, you wanna play, huh? All right. Okay, we take that. Well, okay. I was totally expecting this to be one of the hardest ones, but it wasn't. Alrighty, so there we have it, folks. There is the long grand tour for the superhero team. I honestly, it would just go over here and look at our teams here, right? I really do like these guys. The Gohan, like they all serve such great roles within their teams. Everybody's doing their positions. The Gammas, especially, you know, I really like AGL Gamma too. They killed his EZA. It's perfect. It's so much damage, right? He does everything. He attack lowers, right? He's got that little bit of dodge in there. The support, it's all really nice. Plus the key blast notifications, right? The superhero units themselves are great. As you can see, Piccolo really turned it around for us on that rotation. And then of course, like we said, the Gammas, right? They're taking. I'm a little disappointed with Gamma 1's tanking. I feel like I understand why they don't make, because they want you want to put Gohan in slot 1 over him. So I understand why he's not quite the slot 1 demon that he used to be, but he's still good, right? He's still really, really good. Very, very helpful. So for this Grand Tour, I don't think I'm going to include the Bio Broly And any of the artificial life form stages, just because they're not finished yet, we don't really have a good lay of which fights we should really concern ourselves with for the time being. So I'll just do a full run through of every artificial life form stages with the superhero team once we get all stages, and then we can really get a feel for each of them all together. But for now, we'll just leave them out of the Grand Tour. So guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think of the brand new superhero team and the EZAs, and are you looking forward to next week's amazing EZAs? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.